Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Right off the bat on today's show, Germany is in the news, and for a weird situation, the folks over at Der Spiegel, I know I probably butchered that, derspiegel.com, is actually reporting that the German government is looking to ban internal combustion engines by the year of 2030. So just a touch over 10 years' time, they're planning on no internal combustion engines actually to be built or sold inside of the country of Germany. This is a huge situation moving forward. I would really love to see what the German manufacturers are actually thinking about when they hear this particular news. Not only that, the German government is actually poking at the rest of Europe, wanting them to go along with this situation. This is a pretty big step to say that all German vehicles are going to be EVs heading by 2030. Pretty big deal indeed. We'll keep you definitely in tune if we hear any more about this particular situation. Next up on the list, sticking with the EV situation, Maserati is in the news because apparently they're working on a brand new EV vehicle. And they're working on it in a very similar shrunken time period. In fact, they're planning on having this vehicle for sale in the year of 2020, which is a huge leap. Especially because it takes them around 3 to 4 years to actually develop a machine here in this modern era. But the folks over Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, the parent company of Maserati, they only have one EV I can even think of, and it's not the world's most refined machine, as it's the little 500e from Fiat. So to make one very ultra-refined and very high-end for a Maserati-style crowd is going to be a huge feat to do in just a little under, or a little over, I guess I should say, 3 years' time. One thing for sure, though, this Maserati is going to look very, very nice, so we'll definitely keep you tuned if we hear any more about this situation. Sticking with EVs, but the EV company that everybody thinks of when they think of EVs, Tesla, has got a big unveil coming up October 17th of 2016, which is a handful of days away. Not for sure if it's a product or if it's a software update, but we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear in the next couple of days. Next up on the list, it's always entertaining to see the march of technology and refinement, research and development that all make a machine just better and better and better. And the folks over at Koenigsegg have got a prime example of this particular situation. This is the Koenigsegg CCX. Many moons ago, this vehicle was built weighing only 2,821 pounds, and the 5-liter twin turbocharged V8 made a monstrous 806 horsepower. This vehicle had a pretty trick feat. It would go 0 to 300 kilometers an hour, aka 186 miles an hour, back down to 0 in just 29 seconds, which is eye-wateringly fast. Now let's fast forward to all these years later and think of the Koenigsegg 1-to-1. Now weighing just a touch more at 2,998 pounds and got a fair amount more power. Now the twin turbocharged V8 makes 1,306 horsepower. But this vehicle, showing off how research and development and further refinement of the machine really pays big dividends, this vehicle will do 0 to 300 kilometers an hour and back down to 0 in just 17.96 seconds. Yeah, lopping it dang near in half, which is a monstrous jump, especially over the past, 10 or 15 years since the CCX has actually been built. So, an impressive feat indeed from the folks over at Koenigsegg, and very interesting to see what's going to happen with this car company coming up in the future. Next up on the list, well, it's a sad situation. The Viper's going away, this being the final year of production for the folks with Viper. But Dodge has got an interesting situation, as apparently they're going to put on halt all orders moving forward for a wee bit. Basically to take a look inside, look at the parts and pieces, what they've got coming down the pike, what the suppliers have on hand, and how many they can actually build. Now they're going to jump back into the ordering cycle coming up in the next several weeks once they kind of get their ducks in a row. In an interesting little side note to this story, the folks over at Jerry Wood Dodge in Salisbury, North Carolina have made a massive order for new Vipers. 135 units of these machines, including some of the special edition models we've talked about in shows past. So very interesting. Apparently they are definitely on board for getting all 135 units, and then Viper Group is actually going to really work around of what they're going to have left to actually be put up for offer. And on a fun little side note, or at least I hope it's going to be fun, we're going to have an interesting day on the Facebook page, the Motor Cars Enthusiast Facebook page. If you want to jump down in the show link, it'll shoot you right over to the page. You can like us over there and be a part of this deal. You don't have to be a member of Facebook. You just have to check in October 20th, 2016. That's a Thursday. We're going to be doing a live day. Basically, you're going to do a big road trip on that particular day with a surprise ending, maybe not so surprise, involving a Viper, involving the Viper Group, and we're going to do all of that October 20th of 2016. Going to do a bunch of Facebook Live updates throughout the day, so come over, check us out. I hope we'll have a pretty good time that particular day. Next up on the list, Samsung is in the news, and not for that whole Note 7 thing with those things catching on fire, albeit this story may have a little bit to do with this deal, because Samsung has now officially pulled out of purchasing Magneti Marelli. Magneti Marelli is a group inside the Fiat Chrysler automobile umbrella that actually does a lot of their part stuff along with the Mopar group. And there was a lot of rumors that Samsung was going to buy a pretty big chunk of Magneti Marelli. But now apparently that deal has been taken off the table, quite possibly because of the whole Note 7 situation. So we'll have to wait and see. This deal may get revisited, hopefully very soon. Next up on the list, probably one of the weirdest, goofiest, funniest stories I've heard in quite some time. Bentley is putting together a pilot program inside of the state of California, where you can actually get an app for your phone, and if you own a Bentley, you can tap the old app, the Filled for Bentley app, which is weirdly because they misspelled filled without the E. That being said, you put on the app, you pick a time, you pick a place, and someone will come and refuel your Bentley for a small fee. Yes, they're going to top off the tank of your Bentley at the place and the time of your choosing. I find this to be the maximum amount of laziness and eccentricness, and I can just picture of some Bentley owner getting all puffed and going, well, finally I won't have to deal with all the common folk down at the petrol station. That being said, I would really love this if I owned a Bentley, and that I could get my car refilled just anytime I want, and I don't have to go to the gas station anymore. I kind of like this situation, and if this deal works out well enough for Bentley, Bentley's claiming that they are going to spread this out across the country, maybe across the world moving forward. So we'll wait and see what comes of this particular situation in the next several months. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page, especially Thursday, October 20th, 2016. We're going to have a lot of fun that day, hopefully. And if you'd also like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.